File 1. The meat grinder. You are exhausted. You wake up tired. You drink a cup of synthetic caffeine, commute in traffic you hate, and work 50 hours a week. You even picked up a side hustle. You sacrifice your sleep, your weekends, and your health because the internet gurus told you to rise and grind. And yet, look at your bank account. You are still broke. You are barely surviving. You think you are just not working hard enough. You think if you just put in another 10 hours, you will finally break free. That is exactly what they want you to believe. Welcome to the hustle trap, the greatest psychological scam ever pulled on the modern man. They sold you the illusion that exhaustion is a badge of honor. They convinced you to proudly run inside a digital hamster wheel until your heart gives out, just to make another man a billionaire. You are not a highly driven entrepreneur. You are a battery, and the system is draining you dry. If you are tired of trading your blood for pennies while the cost of living skyrockets, lock the door. Pay attention, because it is time to decode the machine that is eating you alive. File 2. The corporate ladder. Let's talk about your day job. You sit in a climate-controlled box, staring at a screen, waiting for permission to live. They told you that if you played by the rules and put in the hours, you would climb the ladder. But the ladder is an illusion. It is a treadmill painted to look like stairs. What actually happens when you perform well? They reward you with more work. They give you a fabricated title, Senior Executive, Vice President of Operations. These are just words on a digital screen. They give you a 4% raise, but a 50% increase in stress. You are not climbing, you are just carrying heavier chains. While you lose your hair, your testosterone, and your youth answering emails at 9 p.m. on a Friday, the executives at the top are buying their next piece of real estate. You are trading the absolute best years of your physical prime to build a kingdom that you will never rule. And how do they keep you docile? With synthetic prestige. They give you a shiny badge. They give you an Employee of the Month certificate. They make you feel important so you don't realize that you are completely disposable. The moment you burn out, human resources will replace your warm body before your desk is even cold. Your loyalty is a one-way street. But maybe you already figured this out. Maybe you thought you could escape the cubicle by becoming your own boss. You thought the gig economy was your way out. You were wrong. File 3. Digital serfdom. So you decided to be your own boss. You downloaded an app, turned on the location tracking, and started hustling on the side. You drive strangers around in your own car. You deliver processed food in the rain. You take on cheap freelance gigs at midnight. The internet told you this was the path to financial freedom. They lied. You are not a business owner. You are a digital peasant. Welcome to modern feudalism. In the past, a serf worked the land for the king in exchange for crumbs. Today, you work the algorithm for a tech CEO in Silicon Valley. But it is actually worse now because you provide the tools. You pay for the gas. You pay for the car repairs. You destroy your own spine and sacrifice your own sleep, all while a faceless line of code dictates exactly how much your time is worth today. If the algorithm updates, your income is slashed in half. If a random stranger leaves a bad review, you are deactivated, fired by a machine,
with zero severance and zero health benefits. They call it the gig economy to make it sound modern, to make it sound flexible. But flexibility is just corporate slang for you are entirely on your own. You are renting out your life minute by minute just to stay afloat. And no matter how fast you drive or how hard you hustle, you can never outrun the math. Because the money you're bleeding for is actively working against you.
File 4. The inflation guillotine. Let's look at the money you are killing yourself to earn. You notice it at the grocery store. You notice it when you look at housing prices. The math no longer makes sense. You work 20% harder this year, but your purchasing power drops. They tell you it is a temporary economic cycle. They blame supply chains. They blame global conflicts. It is a lie. It is a mathematically designed system to strip away your wealth. Every time the central banks print trillions of dollars out of thin air, they are silently stealing the hours of your life that you traded for that currency. You are storing your precious, limited time on Earth in a melting ice cube. This is how they price you out of adulthood. This is why a basic starter home, a normal milestone for your grandfather, is now a luxury asset hoarded by Wall Street megafunds. Massive corporations are buying up your neighborhood with printed money while you work 3 jobs just to pay them rent. They want you as a permanent subscriber to life. Rent your apartment, rent your car, rent your entertainment. You will own nothing. And as long as you are tired and pacified by screens, you will not fight back. The game is entirely rigged against the man who trades his time for wages. But knowing the trap is not enough to survive it. The house is burning. You need an exit. File 5. The hard reset. You cannot outwork a rigged system. If you keep trading your finite time for a depreciating currency, you will die tired and poor. You cannot hustle your way out of the matrix by driving for an app or answering emails on a Sunday. So, what is the protocol? You must pivot from hustling to building leverage. The men at the top do not sell their hours. They build systems. They acquire assets. They master high-friction skills that a machine cannot replicate in a millisecond. Step 1. Kill the fake hustle. Delete the gig economy apps from your phone. Stop volunteering for unpaid overtime to impress a manager who sees you as a spreadsheet cell. Reclaim your hours. Step 2. Rebuild the biological machine. Your body is your only true asset. Sleep 8 hours. Train with heavy weights. A weak, sleep-deprived, and over-caffeinated man does not have the aggression required to break out of a mental cage. Step 3. Build your fortress. Use your reclaimed time to acquire a lethal, high-income skill. Learn how to sell, how to build a tangible business, or how to control capital. Stop renting out your car and start owning your own infrastructure. You need equity, not wages. The algorithm wants you distracted, exhausted, and poor. It wants to bury this transmission because a rested, focused, and dangerous man cannot be exploited. If you are ready to stop running in their wheel, step into the friction. Join the resistance. Subscribe to the channel. And if you actually survive to the end of this file, drop a comment below with the word leverage. Let's see who is actually ready to build. The door is locked. The house is empty. Handle it.